Hi, everybody. This is Dan Cerrucci, and this is another one of our Zoom chats. And I'm here with Daryl Brooks. Daryl, how are you today?
I'm feeling great, Dan. How you doing, Mr. Dan Cerrucci? I am happy to be on your show.
Well, I'm happy to have you, Daryl. We've chatted before, and I'm particularly interested in chatting with you as a Black person, as a Black American, as a Black man during this time in our country's history. I mean, it's such a turbulent and horrendous time, Daryl. How does it feel to you?
You know, it's definitely it saddens me. As a Christian, and what are some of the things that are happening in our society. And it was for my Christian foundation, it says love everybody. What Jesus said, love everybody, bless them that curse you, pray for those who despitefully use you, bless all the purest in heart. These things that I am not seeing from our community leaders and local politicians and Congress. These things are not being talked about, not being practiced, especially in some of the churches. And so we have to put together a better foundation of loving people, of having joy in their heart, helping people, helping old ladies getting off the bus with their bags, things in that nature, just to be nice and kind. We're not nice. A lot of us are not nice and kind anymore, especially some of the riots and the protests and politicians being, you know, be decent to each other. That's,
Hey,
that's what it's all about.
Daryl, what I find is that I find that everyday Americans, no matter their color or their station in life or whatever, I find them being helpful to one another for the most part on a daily basis,
Yes.
greeting one another in a friendly manner, opening doors for one another, deferring to someone in a difficult situation, treating older people with a degree of respect and assisting them. I mean, I see instances of this all the time, but I don't see it from our leadership class for the most part.
Mhm. You know,
People that are supposed to be our leaders.
yeah, a lot of it's ego. A lot of just ego, thinking that they're the almighty. The people elected them. If you look at the Democratic Party, let's say Trenton, Philadelphia, Camden, Chicago, you see it. These are where the major riots are, and have happened. Atlanta, Washington. It's these are the major riots, and these are Democratic areas. So people are angry. Let me just say this: the young people, the people that are rioting and protesting and looting, they're angry in Democratic areas where Democratic politics and the policies, the left-wing policies. They're frustrated. They have got bad education, no jobs, prisons, and they don't come from the right. They come from the left, in left areas.
And these are in cities, Daryl, in
Hmm.
cities that Democrats have firmly controlled for 50, 60, 70 years. In the case of Philadelphia, 70 years. One
Yeah.
city I saw was more than 80 years.
Hmm.
Democrats have been in firm control. And the Democrats are crying about how awful things are in those cities when they're the ones who has been in lockdown control for decades.
Oh yeah, and listen, and does race play a role in certain areas? Yes. When you look at the politics, you look at Ferguson. Well, when I tell people Ferguson, the majority in the mayor council are white, but they're Democrat. They're left. It's like you have the mayor left. You at Philadelphia left, Trenton far left. Well, you say, well, the Democrats care, and we support our politicians, but they're left, and they're giving you bad education, jail time. It's sad. It is totally sad what's happening in these areas.
And then you have somebody like Joe Biden, who's been in Washington for nearly 50 years, Daryl. He's been in Washington for nearly 50 years. What's your take on Biden?
But Sleepy Joe. It's the fact that, listen, Biden signed the crime bill. Okay, Biden signed the Patriot. He wrote the Patriot Act. There was a reason why Biden was never, he lost in all the primaries. The Democrat Party knows about Biden, but now they need someone to challenge Trump. And Biden is, he just totally has lost his mind. I've seen some of the videos. Sometimes he doesn't know where we're at. And that's the best the Democratic Party can do. And there are people who will vote for this candidate, and it's sad. It's totally sad, because for me, as a person, as a community activist, political pundit, talk show, I want to know what my candidate stands for. What's his belief? And to serious as African Americans who watch this, who watch what I am saying, listen, seriously understand what Joe Biden is about. For those who are on the who are somewhat the Democratic, or you're liberal, traditional liberal, you know what Biden is about. Biden cannot win a primary before he's vice president, but before Obama, how many times have Biden won? 2 or 3 times already. Could not win.
Right.
And now he's listen.
I think this is his 4th try.
His 4th try. And, the guy has totally lost his mind. Totally lost his mind. And he's Sleepy Joe at the debates. You saw the primary debates. There was a period where Joe was just quiet. Biden was just quiet. He wasn't there. And this is what the Democratic Party is pushing.
A lot of people don't know this. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, Daryl, but if Biden is elected, on the day he takes office, he will be older than Ronald Reagan was on the day that he left office. Okay. Wow. And when Reagan left office, Reagan was the oldest president at that time, on the day that he left office. Biden will be older than that on the day that he takes office, if he is elected. Mm-hmm. And as far as his views, Biden was the one, like you say, who wrote the bills that put young black men, so many young black men by the thousands and thousands in jail. Mm-hmm. And now he's the one who says he wants to defund the police. He's been all over the place. Biden is for whatever helps Biden at a given time.
So my theory is, if the people elect Biden, Biden will not be in control of the White House. Plain and simple, he's lost his mind. There'll be people running the White House. Biden will not be in control, and that's sad. It's sad. It's sad, and it's not. We're not looking forward to the future. We're going back.
Well, I ask you, Daryl, first of all, tell us a little bit about your background and what you're all about and what you do.
Well, as I said before, I'm 51 years old, and I was I came up in politics in high school and college, Blackson Union president, vice president, student government. I got involved in politics at a young age. I remember, speaking up at the library. I had to be like 9 or 10 years old. They was going to close the library, and I spoke to the city council. I think I was like 9 years old. And, it's been, getting involved in politics with the different political parties. I started with the Libertarian Party, then I moved with the Tea Party movement, worked with involved with the Republican Party. It was Ron Paul movement that I started with the Republican Party. And then after that, I got involved with the Tea Party movement. And I've been a Tea Party conservative since, I guess, 2009, 2010.
Now, what do you do for a living?
I work in marketing, and I sell electric and gas. So if you need some electric, you need some gas, we'll take care of you. in Philadelphia, and we're located in Philadelphia. So I've been doing that I guess for the past two years now. I've been enjoying it, and helping people save money on electricity and power. Power Marketing Group. That's what we are. The Power Marketing Group.
Okay, Power Marketing Group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. But Daryl, I got to ask you, as a Black person, um, have you gotten a lot of flack from other Black people being a Black conservative? I mean,
Not really.
it's like one of the last groups, that you're allowed to discriminate against is Black conservatives. It seems to me. Have you gotten a lot of flack?
Well, yes and no. It was one thing when the Tea Party movement started. There was a lot of people say, "Oh, how could you support those racists? And they're racist, they're evil, they hate Black people, and they're this and that." And I was like, "Well, I'm a part of it." And some of these people who you say hate Black people are evil, they're some of my good friends.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, they're not racist, they're not evil. I don't know what's acting in their heart, but I know towards me and the things that we do, evil people, racist people, don't invite you over their house for dinner. Don't sit down with you with a nice cigar. And, it's like, come on, because you're a Democrat and we're Republican, we're liberal, conservative, it's people are different. Don't expect people to always think like you. People have different experiences. People who are, live in a farm, are different from people living in a city. It's people who are making, whether they're white or Black, making $1 million, think different than the ones who are making $30,000, $40,000 a year. People are different. That makes America. And that's the point I try to talk to people. Sit down with people. Oh, I don't want to sit down with them. Well, how are you going to learn about people and learn about what they think and how they feel if you don't want to have a conversation? And I get that from the left. I talk to them. Let's sit down and talk. No, I don't want to talk. Well, then get out of politics. Then get out of activism. If you don't want to sit down and have a conversation, how can we work things out? How can we make, as Trump says, yes, make America great again? All come together, work together. They don't want to come together. It's like, it's sad.
You found that people on the right are actually much more open to discussing things and having a dialogue with you than people on the left.
Yes, definitely.
That they are actually much more tolerant than the people that are being accused of not being tolerant are actually more tolerant than the people who are saying that those people aren't tolerant.
Yeah, and one of the things is that if the left, if they disagree with you, they don't like you, they will do everything they can to basically destroy you, to degrade you and stop your income. Do everything. It's like they don't want to be bothered with you. They don't want you. You're the enemy. You're the enemy. I don't want to talk to you at all. That's what I've been when I went different rallies. Different places, especially in Trenton. This guy, oh, you're a Republican, you're a D. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you're evil. But a year ago we were friends talking about stuff. Now you found out I'm evil, and so that is the ignorance of the far left. And I want people to wake up. I want people to research. Do your research on the left. Do your research on Antifa. Do your research on Black Lives Matter. What do these really groups stand for? Do they stand for family? Do they stand for culture, understanding each other? Do they stand for making America strong, making family strong, husband and wife? Do they stand for a traditional family, husband and wife? These are the questions that people should be answered. Do you stand for helping making this country strong, family life, husband and wife, taking care of each other? These things are important to our American society.
Daryl, I know your faith is very important to you. Has this always been the case?
Yeah, pretty much. I tell the story of my mama Gracie. She's my grandmother. I was born and raised in Jersey, Trenton, Jersey, and my grandmother was St. Mary's, Georgia. If she was to me, my mother, she was like Mother Teresa. She would read the Bible to me every day, church, I may went to church four times, 5 times a week. On Sunday, May went to 2 services, 3 services. After that, she'd cook breakfast, during that time, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then supper. That supper is the extra. One of the two, dinner and supper, was the extra when you at the later on in the evening. But she preached the value of understanding God, understanding what the purpose of God for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. There was some nights, it was kind of scary. She had the picture of Jesus Christ, and when you go this way, you look this way, he's still looking at you. She had a picture of Jesus, and she had a picture of Martin Luther King, and she had a bust of John F. Kennedy. Now in the South, that's what they had. They had Jesus, Martin Luther King, and John F. Kennedy. So those was the things that, those values, those Christian values told me things I shouldn't go there. I shouldn't hang out with certain people. There was a reason why. I understand now. But the values of being with a woman who was, to me, Mother Teresa, there was no other higher Christian, than our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But, she was that example.
So you benefited from a strong family foundation.
Yes, especially my grandmother, and she was involved in the church. And so a lot of young kids today, as I talked about before, they don't have that type of structure. Their family, they aren't going to church. Before people was going to church, they go to Easter Sunday, Christmas, and Mother's Day, and Thanksgiving, maybe 3 or 4 times if they did go to church. Now you have children that have never grown up in the church. They know nothing about God, know nothing about Christianity. And that generation is happening. They're angry. So this is why you see the violence, the shootings, massive shootings. So you have the kids in the suburb, mass shootings, and you have the inner city kids that's shooting too, killing each other. They don't believe in God. They watch the violence television shows, the violent movies, violent video games. They see cursing and all types of violence in their street, in their house. And it's sad because there's a church on every corner. And even in the suburb, young kids, black and white and Spanish, inner city and suburb kids, they're not getting that Christianity, that Christian foundation that they need to survive. This is why you have so many of them, young kids today, committing suicide.
Daryl, I know you feel that President Trump is actually going to get a significant amount of the black vote. Do you feel that way? You still feel that way?
Oh yes, it's listen, those polls, as I said, those are fake polls. I think I truly believe, because they don't answer. They don't talk to certain people. I talk to the SEPTA. I'm in Philadelphia, and I talk to the SEPTA drivers, and they tell me they like Trump. They before everything was this whole coronavirus was the 401k. Their 401k was doing great. They like the fact that he's trying to deal with the fact of immigration issues, building a wall. When I talk to African American men at a certain age, certain generation, they like Trump. If you were 45, 50 and over, the ones who actually vote, they grew up with Trump. They say Trump ain't a bad guy. They don't quite listen to what the media says. CNN, MSNBC, agents. I call them agents of the deception. And so, and that's what we have to deal with. Wake people up. There are agents of the deception, CNN and MSNBC, and people should look up the news, look up information. It's out there about the truth. And listen, I tell people this, and we all know President Trump is not perfect. No person is perfect.
Right.
No politician. He's not the savior. He is just he says he's building a wall. He's building the wall. He wants to make America strong, the economy strong. He was doing that. And then the coronavirus come, and it kind of definitely put a low on what the economy and what America was going through, the great jobs, economic boom. And so people have to realize that that our country is struggling. and our president is struggling. We have to pray for our president, but also pray that he gets another, definitely win another term, and I think he will win another term. But they have to understand, no government has really been prepared for a coronavirus like this.
No.
No.
And there was no way to prepare for it. There was no way to prepare for it.
And the media blame Trumps. But people are not doing their research. What really happened? It came from Wuhan, yes.
Right. We know that they had it in for Trump from the beginning because he exposed the media. He showed them for what they really are, and that just drove them crazy. They can't stand it, and they've had it in for Trump from the very, very beginning. But I think I feel the same way that you do, that Trump is a very, very strong man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where he gets his strength from. It's amazing. I think it's got to come from a higher power. I don't think it can come from anywhere else. A man of his age that shows the remarkable degree of focus and stamina that he has. It's really breathtaking.
Yes, he's a healthy. I mean, he is a healthy man at his age. He's healthy. As far as I know, he doesn't smoke. He doesn't. I don't ever seen him drink.
No.
He's very disciplined. A disciplined person.
Right.
And so, his mouth gets him in trouble sometimes.
Right.
But listen, no president is perfect, but it's about how America is becoming, as America is strong economic. One of the things I tell people this, I want to say this, is that there are people who are Democrats who I have met in cigar lounges in different places. They're Italians, they're all different races, and they say they like Trump. They like Trump because of the economics. They don't care about personality. But they care about his economics. And there are people who may care about personality. There are people who may care about economics. There are people who may care about social things, whatever. But that's America. And these people, they say they will keep voting for Trump because they know the fact that he wants to make economics strong. Economics means a lot to our society.
Right.
We can have food on our table, jobs, take care of our family, get things that we need. That's important. That's important. Making sure, no one bombs us. Even dealing with this coronavirus, but I think we will have a cure very soon. So,
right.
And listen, no president is perfect, but I believe that Trump, he wants to do great things. When he first got elected, I was watching television. I told you, and I started laughing. I completely started laughing. He comes out, he had that concerned look on his face, but I truly believe that he, in his mind, he wants to do great things. He wants to prove himself. And I will vote for any president that exactly wants to prove himself. He's not following the truly democratic way of things, the Republican way of things, the old way of certain things. He's different. And that's what makes him so great. He's different. He's a politician, but he didn't come up through the whole political, people ran for Congress, governors. Exactly. He's a businessman, exactly. And he didn't come up in traditional political ways. And that's what I think people are used to. They want a president. They want people to lie to them, and everything's going to be all right. And, and this is what people, I want a person to be honest, tell me the truth.
That's right. And there's nobody that's been more frank and direct and outspoken and speak the language of ordinary people than Donald Trump. I think we could agree on that.
Yes. And people, a lot of certain people who grew up who are involved in the political way of thinking and in a different families, political families, they are, groups, they don't like the frankness. They don't want to hear the truth. They used to, either dealing with the Bushes and dealing with the Clintons and Obama, they want to be dazzled and smile and everything is fine. And, no. This is what he is. And I'd rather deal with someone like that.
Absolutely.
Than someone who will smile in my face and stab me in the back.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Darryl. We're just about out of time. This has been a wonderful chat.
Yes, thank you.
you and I are going to talk again before this
All right.
campaign is over. It's
All right.
always great fun. Thank you so much, Daryl.
Thank you. God bless yourself. Take care and stay safe.
Well, God bless you too.
On Fire Show. On Fire Show. I have to bring you on my show. On Fire Show.
I'd love to do it. We'll set it up.
We'll set it up. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. Take
God
care.
bless.
Bye.